Let's see.
And Mary Kate, we saw images of Sully, his service dog.
Yes.
And you have a story about Sully.
So I met Sully this summer up in Kennebunkport, as John King was just saying, the president's final summer in Kennebunkport, and a bunch of us went up there, and it really, first of all, was not the same without Mrs. Bush there. And Mrs. Bush used to have these two little dogs that, to put it politely, were not very well behaved. And so they got adopted by staff, and Evan Sisley, who Jamie was just pointing out, decided that maybe a service dog would be a good idea. So Evan called the Pentagon and said, "Are there service dogs available for disabled American veterans?" And the organization said, "We consider George H.W. Bush the greatest of all disabled American veterans, and have we got the dog for you?" And Sully arrived very quickly with 2 pages worth of commands that he was able to execute.
Wow. Yeah, these dogs are remarkable. They're not just fuzzy friends. They can turn on lights for you. They can get you things. Yeah.
And by the way, what I said to Evan when he was showing me this list, what is going to happen to Sully when, as we call it, the dreaded moment arrives? And I said, "Is Sully going to be your dog?" And he said, "Oh, no. I'm just a regular guy. Sully needs to be with someone who needs serious help." And so Sully is being brought back to go to Walter Reed.
Amazing.
And but anyway, so he says Sully can do everything but make a martini. And it turns out that there's a button next to President Bush's bed, and Sully was trained that if President Bush woke up in the middle of the night and said, "I need help," Sully would go over and push the button with his nose, and it would ring a bell in Evan's room, and Evan would come in to see what the president needed, right? Well, this goes for a while, and as Evan would arrive, he would give Sully a treat. Well, Sully decided he was going to eliminate the middleman and not wait for President Bush to say, "I need help," because he could just push the button and get the treat, right? So,
That's dark.
Evan, so this dog is a little too smart and has started putting on weight because nobody was going to not come if he pushed the button. So
that's the definition of Pavlovian, I believe.
It is.
We're going to take a very quick break. We're waiting for the casket of President George Herbert Walker Bush to arrive.
Former President George H.W. Bush honored with a 21-gun salute before his flag-draped casket departed Texas for D.C. this morning. It's expected to land in Washington in about an hour. That's where our nation's 41st president will lie in state at the Capitol Rotunda for the next 2 days. Also on that plane, the former president's service dog, Sully. This is his last journey and final farewell to the former president. His rep tweeted out this photo with the words, "Mission complete." Sully will now help other veterans at Walter Reed Medical Center. And earlier this morning, I talked to some folks who know the power of a service dog. Joining me, Piper Hill, founder of Healing for Heroes, and you have your service dog, Shakespeare, with us, or Shaky, and also Robert Durst III, Robbie's with us with his service dog, Zeus. So first off, thank you both for your service.
Thank you.
As we come together on this day, we remember a president, and we pay tribute to our service dogs. Tell me, what was the impetus to develop this, to become a co-founder of an event, of this organization like this?
I'm a veteran, of course, and I have a traumatic brain injury, and I don't remember almost 4 years of my life, but I remember my dog that never left my side. And at some point during that injury, I taught her to go get my meds, which is one of the hardest tasks to teach a dog. But that's what I picked because I didn't have enough sense to pick something easy, because there was days I didn't even know my name. I slobbered on myself. And anyhow, and I just wanted to help other veterans like me that were struggling so that they could lead a better life.
How much of a difference maker was your dog, and even to this day is Shaky?
Shaky's my third dog, but I will tell you, if I hadn't had Valentine, I would not be here. I didn't know what was wrong with me, but I knew I was not the person that I used to be. But yeah, if I hadn't had that first dog, I would have gone.
Robbie, tell me your story here, and how much a service dog like Zeus is meant to you. Because we appreciate your service. You served in Iraq 2 tours, right?
Yes, sir.
And it didn't go as planned, right?
Never does.
Yeah,
I was airborne infantry, front lines. 15 months was my first tour. It was really crazy. Then back home for a little bit, deploy again, and there's really no time to process any of it. So you really just go to numb, you don't deal with anything, and then you get back, you're done, and that's when all the stuff comes.
Wow.
The pain, the surgeries, the psychological effects, the nightmares, the things that you're not even sure what was going on. Rage fits and things like that. He helps amazing with mobility, as well as medicine retrieval, the interruptions of anxiety. So I'll be getting worked up, and one of mine is like, Zeus, so he'll smack my legs. Zeus, up.
Let's see that again. Yeah, so.
Zeus. Come on. So he'll do it. He does it a lot better when I'm standing, but so he'll hit it, and then.
So if you're feeling a little anxious, your leg starts to shake, Zeus will know, put that paw on your leg to
let me know, and
you know.
it'll let me be, so it doesn't work itself all the way up. And then I'll use him as an excuse to take a break outside, you know, to just take him some fresh air or something. I say he needs to go to the bathroom, and then, you know, I teach that to other veterans so that they don't have to be feeling vulnerable, because we all do after being so strong. Absolutely. And then all these injuries. So it's a dual purpose task with that.
And tell me about Shaky. Let's see Shaky as far as what interaction do you have that helps you to this day?
So Shaky is more of just a demo and a, not community service, but a ambassador for the program. But Valentine, when she was alive, she would do the medicine and she would wake me from nightmares and stuff like that. Shaky does when I give presentations a lot. I didn't realize that, because I'm not really an angry person, but I was fussing at my son one day, and he stood straight up in between us and like turned like a person would, and he put one hand on my shoulder and one hand on the other shoulder, and I was like, what the, oh my gosh, I'm yelling, I'm so sorry. And then I apologized to him, and then I apologized to my son. But when I give presentations, when I get excited sometimes, because I'm telling stories about vets and how great the dogs are, Shaky will stand up in the middle of a presentation and hug me.
Just to calm again?
Yeah, it's because he thinks it's yelling, and it's just excitement. And he does it with other people when they yell. He'll go over to them, and I have to teach him not to do that all the time, because some people don't want a random dog to come hug him, you know, them or whatever. But he does it. He does it quite often.
It makes all the difference, though, doesn't it? Rob, you
really
can speak
does.
to that.
It gives your life back. I didn't even think, I honestly, you know, to be quite honest, I didn't want to live in this place anymore. I didn't understand it anymore when I came back. I was in physical pain, mental pain, and spiritual pain every single day. And they saved my life. You know what I mean? It's like the words can't describe how much appreciation I have for this program. And I see it every single day, because I'm at every class, and now I'm very involved in the program, and I'm trying to pay it forward, you know, pay back. And then we're helping Vietnam vets. We're helping, we have some World War II vets. We have Korean vets. And it is just amazing how strong these guys are and how resilient they are to come and take all that batter and then come again and make it like a phoenix come to life.
Wow. We're looking again at that picture of Sully next to the casket there. What did you guys think, Piper, I'll start with you, when you saw that picture? And I mean, that you really must feel that.
Yeah, it's very moving. And we see it in the dogs that we have now that we give to veterans. I know they have remorse or sadness, just like people do, but they're very resilient, because sometimes veterans, they'll get a dog and then they'll want a different dog later as they move out into society, and you know, or they get better and they want to do more things, and the dog's sad, like really sad they lost their veteran, or but they go to another veteran, and then they're like, hey, I have another purpose to do, I have another job to fulfill. But I know they have sadness and sorrow when they lose us.
Robbie, a thought when you saw that picture of Sully next to the casket?
Yeah, it's hard. I had a dog before that died of cancer, and then I had to go to a PTSD program the next day. And if I wanted to stay, I wanted to stay home, but then that would have pretty much said all that he's done for me before, I would have been throwing it away. So I pretty much did it for him in his memory, pushed myself. And then, I mean, that was a big turning point in my life to get better.
That really articulates the bond that we see here between Shaky and you, Piper, also Zeus and Robbie. Guys, appreciate it. Thank you again so much. Really bringing it home as we pay tribute to you guys for your service, to our service dogs, and our 41st president. So thanks again.